I'm here with Marie Edwards, our third year student. And Marie, it's your last day today in college. You're in clinic for the final time.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel?
Yeah, I feel good. Yeah, I feel good. Mixed emotions. Proud of myself. Reached the end. But yeah, it'll definitely be strange after 3 years not coming back to college.
Yeah. How have you felt about your time here?
Yeah, I mean, overall, it's been an amazingly positive experience. I've loved it. I've definitely loved it. Learning more and more about acupuncture. It's been challenging at times, for sure. The reality of a degree, it's not supposed to be easy. But yeah, I've thoroughly enjoyed it. I would say it's been life-changing. I expected it to be, maybe not exactly how it's turned out to be, but yeah, it's been overall an amazing experience.
That's great. I know there's been a few times during your training, probably everybody would have this too, where kind of life and study, you've had to try and find that balance.
Yeah.
What did you do to kind of like find that balance? You know, tell us a little bit about that journey.
Yeah, well, from when I started, my personal circumstances changed dramatically over those 3 years. And when I started, I had a 1-year-old. And that wasn't necessarily easy. I had to adjust to kind of find when I could put in the hours for studying. I deliberately joined the weekend cohort it just suited our lifestyle at that point, and it turned out to be really beneficial because halfway through second year, I relocated to the Republic of Ireland. So I live in a different country, and it requires a lot of travel, commuting 4 flights in total. So I think I'm a good example of how the weekend cohorts, you can make it work even if you're not on the doorstep, and fixing the studies once a month has worked out really, really well for me. And I've been allowed to bolt my clinic days on. So I'm here for 6 days, commuting from Ireland. That has been a challenge. I think it's probably slightly harder than I expected it to be, but there's no doubt that the college accommodating me, bolting my days on and having just a 1 weekend in, it's worked well.
Wow. It sounds like a real challenge. Thanks for sharing that with us. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously now you're going to have a bit of a well-earned break over the summer.
Yeah.
Until you get qualified in September. What's the plan after that?
The plan is to ease myself into working. I will be more than likely doing part-time hours because I'll be working around my son being in nursery and setting up independently. However, I've been really quite lucky where I live locally. The medical centre there have shown interest in having an acupuncturist come in, and they will rent me a room basically in the local GP surgery. So I'll be advertised there. I will be self-employed, but we'll kind of combining adult treatments and then also independent treatments to patients.
That's absolutely great. And when we were talking yesterday, you told me a little bit about how that came about. And I'm hoping that you might share that with us because it's a really interesting story, isn't it? And I think for kind of potential students who are watching this video, it's a practical demonstration of how kind of learning about research and the research into acupuncture and being, you know, really confident in that has helped you to kind of like to you know, find this opportunity.
Yeah. Well, on what should have been my penultimate weekend in is the only time I've had to take off sick during the course. And I was really disappointed about that. But I was unwell and I had to go to the doctor. And we were having a conversation. He did know that I was studying acupuncture and asked about the course again. So during that conversation, he mentioned that he had never had acupuncture himself, but there was a lot of evidence growing attached to acupuncture, And I said, well, yeah, the college that I attend is very focused on evidence-based acupuncture, and we spoke a little bit about that. Conversation dipped into the energetics of pharmaceuticals, because I'd recently been looking at that. And he was just really taken with the course content, looked online, and he said, yeah, I can offer you a room here, I'm very interested. So that's how it came about. So the silver lining, it's turned out great. I was so disappointed not coming in. Thought, oh, gutted. But yeah, it worked out great.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. Thank you for sharing with us. That's great. It's your last day in clinic. Oh, it's such a big day, isn't it? How have you enjoyed your clinic time here? And have you got any kind of success story or a little golden nugget you can share with us about clinic?
Yeah, I love clinic. I've loved it. And most of all in third year. I was worried about the responsibility going into third year, but yeah, taking the reins, and it really does a lot for your confidence. And I found that a lot in multi-bed. The prospect can be a bit scary, thinking that the high-paced, but I did have a lovely success story just recently with a patient that I saw on his intake. I did his new patient intake form, and he was struggling with some symptoms. And I didn't see him until his last treatment, just the way that the dates worked out. And on his last treatment, we were treating him for various things, including some plum stone throat. And it disappeared while he was in the middle of the treatment. It just vanished for him. He was really happy with the treatment, and I was delighted to see him before I left. Yeah, I was really happy about that success story.
That sounds amazing. That's great. And just finally, if anybody watching this is thinking about studying acupuncture at the NCA, what would you say to them?
Yeah, I think if you're thinking about it and it's on your mind, then I would say go for it. You know, seriously look at your life circumstances. You've got options. You can, if you attend during the week or the weekend. And we've also had people in my initial cohort change from one to the other. You can adapt it if it doesn't quite fit for you, but you'll find a way to make it work, and you won't regret it. I'll never regret doing it. I remember my interview with you and Marie was really late. I was a really late applicant, and the class was quite full. I did my best to impress you, and you thought, right, okay, come on, squeeze you onto the course, and I'm delighted that that happened.
Well, I'm delighted too, Marie. And, you know, just to wish you all the success in your practice. It sounds really exciting.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm sure you've got a really bright future as an acupuncturist, and we really look forward to seeing you at graduation and keeping in touch throughout your career. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.